Welcome back to the Rich Life Diaries podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to share all my secrets on how I travel the world by myself and still have a good time. So let's get into it. Welcome to Rich Life Diaries, the podcast where we talk real strategies for creating abundance, building a business you love, and designing a life that actually feels good. If you're done playing small and ready to create your dream life, you're in the right place. Here is my reality. I am single and I love traveling. And I don't travel alone because I've got no one to go with. I've got loads of friends. But if I waited around for everyone's schedule to line up, for everyone to have the money, the time off, and the right week, I would never go anywhere. So at some point, I just decided I'm not missing out on my life because other people aren't ready. I'm going on my own. And it's honestly become one of my favorite things. I've been traveling solo for over 10 years now. Look, yes, it can get lonely sometimes. So let me give you exactly what I do to minimize the loneliness before I share my tips on booking solo travel. So the first thing is just to call a friend or someone back home. Simple, but it works. A quick chat and then you're feeling back to normal. The second thing I do is I go and sit at a bar. Now, not at a dinner table, a bar. Because you're way more approachable when you're sitting at a bar on your own than stuck at a table for one. People actually will talk to you. The third thing I do is I put in some music. So it sounds dumb, but it just shifts your whole mood in about 30 seconds. And then the fourth thing is I talk to AI. So I do it all the time. It's like having a friend in your pocket to bounce with when you're sitting somewhere on your own. So they're the four things I do if I do feel lonely on a trip. Now, how to not feel lonely in the first place. Now, I've got a few tips for you if you are flying solo, but you still want to have a fun time on a holiday. So the first thing I do is I always book group trips. So whatever you're into, there's a group for it. There are so many travel groups around these days. I was actually part of Entrepreneur Organization for many, many years. And honestly, I have had some of the best times on these trips because EO ran a heap of events all over the world. So I'd sign up to the trips that interested me. And it was amazing because I was surrounded by successful business owners that were into traveling like me. So recently, I also booked a trip called, it was French Chalets. It's a group in Europe and it did get cancelled last minute, but the concept of it is really good. It just brings business-minded women together that enjoy doing the same thing. So to find your group, just do some AI or some Googling or check out social media groups as well. So once I find my group trip to book, I'll also add on 2 or 3 nights by myself on either side of the planned trip. So then you get the best of both. You get some solo time to do your own thing, and then you get the group trip. But just don't spend too much time on your own because that's when it starts to get a bit boring and a bit lonely. Now, another good way to travel solo is to book a cruise. Now, I did one around Europe about 10 years ago. And look, yes, I was a little bit lonely, but that was because it was all couples and I was the only single person on the boat. But it was such an easy way to see a ton of places without the stress of working out travel between every stop. Every day I'd sign up to a daily activity, I'd get off the boat, I'd explore, and I'd be back on the boat at dark, and then we'd be off to the next port. And then at night, I would basically just go into one of the restaurants on the boat for dinner. And look, some nights I made friends and the other nights I sat there by myself. It was all good. But I'd go back to my room and then I just caught up on Netflix. So booking pre-organized group trips is usually how I travel solo. But if you're a woman traveling alone, always think about your safety. I avoid going to destinations where it's kind of known not to be safe for a woman. And when I do travel alone, I always make sure I'm back in the hotel by dark. I do all my exploring during the day and then I'm back in the room before the sun goes down. So I always try and book day excursions as well through websites like Get Your Guide or Viator if I am on my own. And honestly, I've met some really cool people and had some really fun experiences doing this. Also go to lively places and talk to people. If you're not in the mood, just take a really good book and just lay on go to a beach club somewhere and switch off. So another thing I try to do is to take carry-on only because I have had too many negative experiences where I'm in a foreign country by myself and my bag has been lost and nobody speaks English. It can just be really stressful. So if I can squeeze everything into my carry bag, I will. So look, solo travel isn't about being lonely. It's about not letting other people's timing decide whether you get to live your life or not. You learn to enjoy your own company, you meet people you'd never met, and you stop waiting around. And most of the time, I have had the best time on my solo trips. So that is my episode for today on solo travel. So once again, my hot tips are: book group travel, check out Viator and Get Your guide for daily excursions, go to lively places and sit at a bar if you want to meet people, and if you're a woman, be in your hotel by dark and take carry-on bags only. Now, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below, and I'll see you back here in a few weeks. See ya.